Thank you so much, everyone. Let's go back to our Abuja studio and connect with our guests there, Alhaji Buba Galadima and Mr. FESTUS Keyamo. Alhaji Galadima, I guess you can hear me. Yeah, it's Sean Akimbaloye from our Lagos studio. Thank you so much, Alhaji Buba Galadima, for coming on the program tonight. Your party has been reacting to President's decision not to assent to the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. For a moment, the president has the prerogative not to sign or to sign, and he has decided not to sign. What's the grouse this time?
No, Sharon, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that prerogative. Let me say that I received your invitation at exactly 3 p.m. while I was in Kano. I had to race over 160 kilometers per hour to arrive at this studio because of the importance of this program. In fact, I had to branch and condole the families of my late friend, Senator Ahmed Arua. Having said this, on arrival at your studio, I saw the entire environment being littered by policemen. I hope they are not here to abduct me after doing this program, because this government is a government that is desperate, that wants to be in power at all means, by all means. There is nothing under the sun that they cannot do. Having said this, the president doesn't have that prerogative. It is not personal. It is a constitutional issue. It is a Nigerian issue. And any patriotic Nigerian would assent to something that would bring benefit to Nigerians, will bring about credible election, free and fair election, level playing field. I know as a fact, and I have said so several times over for the last 1 year, that Buhari will never sign the Electoral Act. This is why they are not campaigning. This is why they are not mobilizing people. This is why they are not looking for people's vote. Because, as I envisaged, they want to cut corners and write figures and announce to the Nigerian public during elections. This is unacceptable.
Alhaji Galadima, if you look, just a moment, if I may butt in quickly, because so that we... Just listen. It was one of his campaign promises since 2003 that when he gets into power, that he will make sure that the votes of Nigerians count, that he will make sure that he brings about electoral reform. Where is this integrity? Where is this promise? Has he gone back on his words? Is he not the Buhari that we used to know, that his words were his bond? Today, he changed because he has nobody to vote for him. But he has people that are likely, that could be used to write figures for him to be in power. This would be unacceptable. We appeal to all men of goodwill. We appeal to all Nigerians to make sure that we put the man under pressure to sign this Electoral Act. The international community must come in. The civil society organization Alhaji Galadima, we need to take another break. Just a moment.
On behalf of Nigerians.
Just a moment.
It's not about himself.
So let me quickly go to Mr. FESTUS Keyamo. You're a senior advocate of Nigeria, and a lot of Nigerians are worried about the effect of the president's decision not to assent to this bill and the effect on the 2019 elections.
Well, thank you very much. I think all this scaremongering going on, high-sounding words and scaremongering going on, is they are very unnecessary. You use all this scaremongering and high-sounding words without looking at the facts. What are the facts? The same international community they are appealing to will tell them that international conventions all over the world say that in any build-up to any election, it is wrong, it is against international best practices to make any changes in any electoral law less than 6 months to any election. It also affects us here in ECOWAS. The 2001 ECOWAS Supplementary Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance, especially Chapter 2 of that protocol, says that no country should make any amendment, major amendment to any electoral law less than 6 months to any election without a political consensus. That is what it says. So the same international community they are crying to, we tell them what the protocol is and what the law is. Now, let's look at the reasons the president gave. Are the reasons valid? That is what we should look at. The president gave the first reason, that it is too close to the election that it will cause a lot of confusion. And of course, that is in tandem with what these international protocols say. This is exactly the same thing that happened in Kenya. You remember the elections were cancelled in Kenya because of this same thing that we are trying to do.
Mr.
And
Keyamo,
in the case of Kenya,
Mr. Keyamo, sorry if I'm aborting. Mr. Keyamo, those conventions you're talking about, they are not law. They are not law. And I mean,
yeah, but we have, there's what they call pacta. In international law, there's what they call pacta sunt servanda. You are under the obligation to respect international protocols and treaties. And that's what's called pacta sunt servanda. We are under an obligation to respect those treaties because that is what in fact, that is one of the bases to judge whether your elections are free and fair, whether you begin to change the rules close to the elections. In fact, if the president signs the electoral amendment bill now, our elections will not be deemed to be credible. Our elections will not be deemed to be free and fair if he signs it. If he does not sign it like he has refused to do, that is when it will be deemed free and fair.
Mr. Keyamo, sorry again if I'm aborting. Sorry to follow up on that. Sorry again. So we clarify this issue. There is also issues of morality in play here, Mr. Keyamo. 4 different times the president has declined assent to this bill. And on 2-3 different occasions, the president has cited drafting issues. And a lot of analysts are saying that the president is just giving technical reasons of not wanting to sign, which supports some of the claims by people like Alhaji Galadima that the president does not have interest of signing the bill into law in any case. It's an issue of morality, isn't it?
Let me just give you a very straight answer. Nigerians don't know that the version of the bill that was transmitted to the president in August this year, which was the 3rd time, did not include the provision regarding card reader. So if the president does not want card reader, the president would have quickly signed that version that was sent to him in August. It was the president that pointed it out to them, the National Assembly, that this version you sent to me does not include the provision of card reader. So it is a lie. They are the ones, in fact, this whole situation is a situation of the villains calling the other, calling the heroes villains, and the heroes calling the villains the other side, the other name. So I want to say clearly to Nigerians that we got to this point because of the self-serving nature of the National Assembly. The Senate, first of all, passed the first version in March 2017. It took the House of Representatives 8 months to tinker with it, and it was January this year that the House of Representatives now amended and sent, made their input and sent to the presidency. And when they made their input, what did they do? They now included the sequence of the election. They wanted their own election to come first. And that was what actually delayed the signing of this bill. Because it was, for them, they wanted to serve themselves first before the Nigerian people. And of course, the controversy that one created. It all continued up to May, when they sent the 3rd version, when they said the 2nd version, that it was riddled with all kinds of unpardonable errors. The president had to send it back again to them. And in August, they now presented the 3rd one that did not include the provision for card reader. So we got to this point 2 months to the election, not because of the fault of the president, but because of the tardiness of the National Assembly. It is not the fault of the president at all. Now, to the provisions, the specific provisions of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. The specific provisions is that you have a provision there, I think section 63 or so, that says that the electoral officers should just count the results, should just announce the results. The previous law, the extant law now, says that they should count and announce. But the new law says they should announce, and they removed the particular word of to count the results. And all these are very, very suspicious. And you want the president to sign the law like that? Now we talk about also the electronic transmission of results. They put the provision there regarding the electronic transmission of results. This was what caused the problem in Kenya. The electronic transmission of results in Kenya, what happened was that there were so many areas in Kenya where they could not transmit the result because of network problems. Kenya is a smaller country. It even has more electricity than us. Now we are a bigger country, bigger population, bigger voting population also. And of course, we have a large section of this country that sometimes are not on network. They have to bike some 30 minutes out of some villages to get network. And they even criminalize it in this new act. They say it's a criminal offense for the electoral officers not to even transmit the results electronically.
Mr. Keyamo, let me pause you for a moment.
Any simulation of that process?
All right, just a moment, Mr. Keyamo.
You have not done any test run of that process?
Just a moment.